Imagine a team on the brink of a turning point, surrounded by controversial decisions, uncertain returns, and strong personalities that divide fans and analysts. While the spotlight is on choices that seem small but have the power to redefine an entire season, behind the scenes are buzzing with moves that could completely transform the fate of a traditional NFL franchise. And at the center of it all is the question that no one wants to answer. But first, make sure to click the like button and come with me as I tell you everything. The 2025 NFL season is knocking on the door, and if you think the Cleveland Browns are walking into it with all cylinders firing, think again. But what if I told you that behind the scenes, there's a complex web of tension, high-stakes decisions, and individual redemption arcs that could completely reshape how this season unfolds? Because that's exactly what's happening right now in Berea. Let's start where the stakes are sky-high: special teams. We rarely talk about them unless something goes wrong, but for Cleveland, this often overlooked third of the game could be the key to flipping narrow losses into clutch wins. And the name at the center of that conversation? Dustin Hopkins. In 2023, he was lights out, 91% on field goals. Reliable. Automatic. A true weapon. Fast forward to 2024, and suddenly, that same kicker is hitting just 66.7% of his attempts. From the outside, it looks like a breakdown. But dig deeper, and you realize the impact is seismic. His struggles from long range, only 4 of 8 on kicks from 50-plus yards, meant Cleveland couldn't afford to take risks. Drives had to be pushed deeper. Field position became everything. Now imagine if he gets back to that 2023 form. Suddenly, Kevin Stefanski has options. Suddenly, those field goal attempts at midfield become real scoring opportunities. Suddenly, close games start tipping Cleveland's way. And in a conference as brutal as the AFC North, that margin could be the difference between a 9-8 finish and a playoff berth. But it's not just special teams under the microscope. The Browns' quarterback situation reads more like a high-drama TV series than a depth chart. Joe Flacco, yes, that Joe Flacco, is back in the headlines, and not for a stat line. During OTAs, he was asked if he'd take on a mentorship role for the Browns' younger QBs, specifically rookie Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel. Instead of embracing the mentor label, Flacco bristled, calling it a gotcha question. He framed it as a challenge to his own competitiveness, arguing that saying yes would suggest he's conceding the starting job. To be fair, Flacco didn't say he wouldn't help. He said he'd lead by example, that they'd learn from watching him. But that nuance was lost on fans and analysts alike. Chris Canty, who, remember, was once Flacco's teammate in Baltimore, didn't hold back. He hammered the point home: mentoring young players isn't just nice, it's essential. Not for optics, but because it lifts the entire team. Better backups. Better practices. Better results. What's striking is that Flacco's career has been defined by this very dynamic. He started over Lamar Jackson in 2018. He was the veteran presence for Drew Lock, Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson, and Anthony Richardson. The pattern is undeniable, and the results have been mixed at best. And now, with Deshaun Watson still a looming question mark and Kenny Pickett battling for a starting role, Flacco's stance isn't just about locker room dynamics, it's about the Browns' identity. Will they embrace competition and cohesion, or splinter under ego and uncertainty? Of course, no discussion about the Browns is complete without mentioning the man who defines their defense, Myles Garrett. Earlier this offseason, Garrett shocked the franchise with a trade demand. He was fed up. Tired of losing. Tired of promises. He wanted out. But instead of waving goodbye to their cornerstone defender, the Browns made a bold, franchise-altering move. A 4-year, $160 million extension. $123.5 million guaranteed. A no-trade clause. Just like that, Garrett became the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history. It worked. He stayed. But his absence from voluntary workouts and OTAs has stirred controversy. Some fans aren't happy. Others remember he skipped OTAs last year too. And the year before that. Did it hurt his performance? Not even close. He was a Defensive Player of the Year. So, is the criticism fair? Not according to analyst Matt Fontana, who pointed out that Garrett's on-field dominance speaks louder than his off-season attendance. This raises a fascinating point. When do a player's results outweigh their process? Garrett has earned the benefit of the doubt. He's a game wrecker, a locker room leader. And with new defensive talent like Mason Graham coming in from the draft, Garrett's presence, even from afar, carries immense weight. But let's not kid ourselves. In a division this cutthroat, every rep counts. Every snap in OTAs, every meeting in the film room, every second of leadership, it all matters. And the fans? They see it. They feel it. So what's the takeaway? The Browns are not a team without talent. They've got blue-chip players on defense. They've got intriguing prospects under center. They've got a kicker who, if he rebounds, could be the hidden MVP of this squad. But the real story here is about crossroads. Every major storyline, the quarterback room, the pass rush, the kicking game, hinges on decisions made in the next few months. And those decisions won't just shape this season. They'll define the Browns' trajectory for years to come. So now it's your turn, Browns fans. What do you think about Joe Flacco's attitude toward mentoring? Should Dustin Hopkins still be trusted with long-range kicks? Is Myles Garrett skipping OTAs a non-issue, or something deeper? Let me know what's on your mind in the comments below. Because here's the thing, Browns fans, these aren't just side plots. These are the heartbeats of our season. When a franchise is looking to establish a new identity in one of the toughest divisions in the NFL, every decision, every personality, every piece of the puzzle matters. Take Dustin Hopkins, for example. If he regains even a portion of that 2023 form, suddenly Stefanski doesn't have to punt from the 35. Suddenly, that 4th and 5 at the 38 becomes a field goal attempt instead of a momentum killer. It changes how you call a game. It changes how aggressive you can be. It gives confidence not just to the offense, but to the entire team, knowing you can trust your kicker from range. And that's not theoretical, it's tactical. It's strategic. And in this division, where margins are razor thin, it could decide who's playing in January and who's watching from home. Then you look at Joe Flacco, and it's easy to see both sides. You respect the fire, the desire to compete, to not roll over and just with a mentor label. But in the same breath, you also want him to be the veteran voice that brings unity and guidance to a QB room that is still taking shape. Shedeur Sanders is electric, but raw. Dillon Gabriel has tools but needs refinement. These aren't just camp arms, they're possible futures. And whether or not Flacco embraces that responsibility could shape how quickly those futures materialize. And finally, Myles Garrett. He is the Cleveland Browns defense. You don't pay a man $160 million with $123.5 million guaranteed unless you believe he is the anchor, the tone setter. So when he skips OTAs, yeah, it raises eyebrows. But Garrett's earned his leash. He's delivered every time he's been called on. And with Mason Graham now in the mix, this defensive front is set to be nasty, disruptive, and relentless. The foundation is there. But it all comes down to how tight this group becomes when the bullets start flying in September. So, Browns fans, with all of this on the table, Hopkins' redemption, Flacco's leadership, Garrett's autonomy, where do you stand? What excites you most? What worries you? Let us know in the comments below. Let us hear from you, because this season is going to be quite a ride, and it's just getting started. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Go Browns!